All right, cool. It's there. All right, let's get it out. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Neue.Indie.
Yes, sir. What up? What up?
We
What up?
we back at it. The boys are back at it. Episode
Sir.
Nueve.
9. Yes, sir.
Because I've been brushing up on my Spanish. Because
I like that. I like
just
that.
came back from Spain. You see what I did there?
I see what you did there, bro. That was great.
How you feeling, Frank?
I'm feeling good, bro. This is a good week. Some well needed R&R with the family. Took a couple trips.
Yeah, we was both out of town.
Yeah, we was both out of town, man. So got a little bit of rest and got to see some family and hang out, and that's always good for the soul.
Always good for the soul.
Always good for the soul. But we want to talk about travel.
Well, hold up. Before we get there, we got to thank everybody for tuning in.
Oh, for sure.
9 episodes. And if you could do us a favor, man, if you've been appreciating it, drop us a little follow, subscribe, share
Please.
the podcast with the indie artists that you think might benefit from a podcast like this. We're trying to help artists find sustainability with their music career. So we know a little bit of something about a little bit of something. So, hopefully we can help artists and even encourage and grow ourselves. But this is a community thing, so we need y'all.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So, hold on. Well, first, let me talk about what's the topic on the docket. Topic on the docket. I've been away too long.
I like that Spanish is
yeah. Bilingual. Let me tell you something. Hey, but for today's topic, we're gonna be talking about what's the. Oh, hold wait. This is actually not the right. I had a question that I wanted to ask after
let's go.
the topic.
Hit it.
Yeah. But when the money is good, but the soul is empty, I'm gonna talk about that because I guess
that.
You came up with this topic. I don't know if you want to give context to it, but
100%. I do think, in layman's terms, there does come a point, and I don't know if you felt like this as a creative, where you find something that makes you money, but sometimes that's not always the creative route you want to take as an artist to sustain your career, but it is sustaining your pockets, so you continue to do it at the sake of.
I'm gonna throw in there, or the type of vibes that you make is probably not the popular thing, aka it's probably potentially may not have the best income opportunities.
100%, 100%, and that's where the soul. That's what soul. The definition of soul is specifically to the person. So we'll talk about that, bro.
Love it. And I had a question too.
Yeah.
What is the? And this is, I guess, a question for the audience. If you could drop a comment, but what is the dollar amount that would never make you stress about money again? What is the dollar amount that would never make you stress about money again? What is that for you? Do you have that dollar amount? What number comes to mind?
$100 million. Hey, no, I mean,
that would never. That you would
never again. I think it would have to be in the. Because I can spend $10 million. I need $100 million to never stress about money ever again. Like
never.
And I'm talking about like I can enjoy whatever I want, and I'm not thinking about money. I need at minimum 100 million, bro.
Minimum 100 million.
Because I got some.
You got big dreams.
I got $1 million plans, man. So 100 million will give me a good, breathing room.
Get a couple of them ideas off.
Yeah, get a couple of them ideas off, bro. What's your amount?
Well, I will say this wasn't an original question. I found there was a reel I saw on IG, and it was a guy who had this question. I thought it was a really good question. The follow-up question they had was, now write the number that you're scared of admitting to yourself that you actually want. Because he said that's because that's probably your real number, which I think it's funny. The first number that came to mind, which is actually the goal that I'm on, is like doing $100K a month, consistently, because I could do a lot with that. I would probably say to never stress about money again for like myself, my legacy, all that kind of stuff. I'd say like 100 million will probably do it as
Yeah.
well. And it's funny because you think about folk who have $1 billion aspirations. That's probably a number that I would feel intimidated to even stretch for. But also, maybe this version of me doesn't have that type of ambition or intention where it's just like I
Sure.
don't want $1 billion problems because I feel
Yeah.
like if you got $1 billion, you got $1 billion problems, and I can only imagine the amount of upkeep to kind of sustain that type of wealth.
100%. I don't think you can, and maybe this is just me. Don't drag me. I don't think you can ethically be like a billionaire.
You know, I think you can.
I think ethics start to go out the window a little bit to sustain $1 billion.
Why you say that though?
Somebody got to get taken advantage of. Someone along the line of that. You have to absolutely be working them like a dog, knowing you underpaying them. That's the only like. I can't imagine seeing billions of dollars. Like I look at Elon Musk, billionaire, and I'm pretty sure them factory workers like somebody has to get stepped on, bro. It's just a fact. But
gotcha. Well, maybe you'll be the first. Maybe
who am I?
You'll be the first.
I'll be the first ethical billionaire.
Yes, we need Frank. We all vote for Frank to be the first ethical billionaire.
Vote for Frank. Yeah. Because
I would hope. I mean, I've never. At least I don't know that I've met a billionaire. Maybe I have met a billionaire, and I just didn't know that he or she was a billionaire. But
facts. Yeah.
I feel like maybe I'm too optimistic. I either feel like there are some billionaires that have good reputation and good rapport, and maybe got their money in a. And you don't have to agree with it, but I feel like it has to be or maybe not. It has to be. Like, now you got me thinking.
They throw pizza parties for the workers and stuff.
It's like low hanging fruit.
Yeah, come on, easy. Pizza.
Everybody gets a pizza party. All right. If you guys know of any ethical billionaires, let us know in the comments. But let's keep it moving. As far as some of the segments we want to chat about and music business news. Suno's taking some L's. There seems to be some lawsuits that they have taken some L's on, where I guess they lost a copyright infringement suit.
They lost, yep,
for the German PRO GEMA.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about that, which is, I guess, could potentially set a precedent for everybody else who's trying to get the bag off of Suno and the practices and ways that they've acquired and trained their models off of. So I'm curious to see what this does down the road for the other lawsuits that are pending.
It's coming.
Even future lawsuits that haven't even begun. In film and entertainment news, Spider-Man Brand New Day climbed to $360 million for their domestic opening. Is what I saw. Beating Avengers Endgame, which I found that surprising.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is too. Like I don't want to get on a rant, but it's like I like the new Spider-Man movies, but I just haven't been like running to the theater or running to Disney Plus.
I haven't seen it yet.
Well, not even that one. I just think the new Spider-Mans in general. I think they've been good, but they haven't been like, oh, I gotta go see this. Like when that Doomsday trailer dropped.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, I gotta go see that. When the Brand New Day Spider-Man, I was like, oh, I'll go catch it. Like it wasn't.
The hype for you is not there.
It's not Endgame there. Like for it to beat out Endgame in the first. But
for me to understand, like for what happened in the last film, I can see
maybe
why.
Maybe I gotta go watch the last film.
You didn't see the last film how it ended with Doctor Strange.
I'm trying to remember.
And the only way Doctor Strange could fix it was to.
You talking about Endgame? Or you talking about the new Spider-Man?
No, Spider-Man before this one.
I feel like I have, but I just don't remember.
To fix it, everybody had to forget who Peter Parker was, even his friends.
Oh, so maybe I need to go watch that one.
Yeah, and Aunt May dies. On top of that, Aunt May dies in the last one too. So this one
now I gotta go.
You gotta go see it.
I gotta go see it. Maybe that's where all the hype is from.
Yeah, it
So
is, just to see where he comes from. But yeah.
dope. Another segment in culture tech current events. Is it time to leave Apple? Samsung just made its strongest pitch yet to iPhone loyalists.
Yes.
What is it? So tell me about this a little bit.
So there's a new platform, not even a new platform. It's a new form factor that phones. Apple is coming out with theirs in September. All right.
Uh-huh.
So that's going to be the new phone format. It's called Passport. It's the same size as a Passport. So your screen is
Okay.
condensed, but you can open it up and you'll have a full screen. So Apple's coming out. That's confirmed. Apple is coming out with it. Samsung beat them to the punch though. And I think it's the better phone. And everyone's saying, well, maybe it's finally time. I'm flirting with the idea to maybe leave
Really? It's
Apple.
like that?
It's like that. To maybe leave
All
Apple,
right.
man.
We got to
Apple
talk
is
about that.
scamming us.
We got to talk about that.
That's a whole nother conversation.
In gaming news, they claim that in GTA 6 you can do almost anything. Somebody said we're never leaving Vice City. These are some of the things that we'll reportedly be able to do in GTA 6, and it already sounds absolutely massive.
It's
According to the
nuts.
reports, there's dirt bike racing. There's some meta stuff. You can play video games, I guess, inside
you could
the
play video
games,
games in the game, which is nuts on some Inception
Yeah,
type.
yeah.
Yeah,
We're just trying to
wild.
we're trying to remove ourselves from real life as much as we can to live life in another form factor.
Insane.
And then lastly, in sync news, seems like sync libraries are running the game, and there was
Yes.
I guess approximately 70% of sync deals in 2024 through 2026 went through libraries, while only 30% went direct to brand or supervisor. So
Yeah.
something we want to talk about a little bit more.
Something can be good. It'll be good. I think that will help with a stereotype for people who are trying to get into sync and they think that they have to go only one way when
Yeah.
actually another way has been shown to be more lucrative.
Or at least more volume is going through it.
Volume, right? That's the right word.
We'll have to see what the numbers look like on it, but we'll dig into that in a minute. How you been, man? 1 out of 10.
1 out of 10. I've been at an 8.5. Solid. Can't complain, man.
Yeah.
I think a lot of traveling. Traveling is beautiful because it's like, especially when you're driving, because we drive 10 hours one way, then you drive 10 hours back, then drive 5 hours somewhere. Like, it's beautiful because once you reach your destination, it's a great experience. But the travel side, it's whack. But nonetheless, I'll say I'm at an 8.5. It's been a good week.
Yeah. I'm there too. I'm high 8, low 9.
Okay.
Just got back from Spain.
Spain. Yeah, bro. That's craziness, bro.
Yeah. For those who don't know,
we need all the details, bro.
For those who don't know, I got back from Spain a couple days ago. Actually, it's been more than a couple days ago. It was like almost a week now, but I got the opportunity to walk out a boxer buddy of mine's, Mr. Varuz.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a very milestone moment for me, man. Like he's think of him like kind of like Jake Paul, what Jake Paul does. He's a big influencer out there. He made a pivot to start doing boxing like 5 years ago and made a good name for himself. He was boxing at a event that they throw every year called La Velada. And this was, I think, their 6th annual one that they've done.
Yeah.
So he's been a fan of my music for a while, hit me up over like a month or two ago and was just like, hey, man, I want you to walk me out. And
crazy.
I was just like, absolutely, my guy.
Crazy.
So beautiful experience. My first time out in Spain. Not my first time in Europe, but first time in Spain. Got a chance to take my dad with me. And that was my dad's first time seeing me.
Tough.
I think first time my dad saw me perform. So what a way to see your son perform for the first time.
Proud dad.
Yeah, first time in Spain, his first time in Spain, his first time in Europe. It was just a lot of firsts. It was really, really just encouraging all around. So long flight out, but made the most of it. But enjoyed it, man. I gotta got a little clip I wanted to show real quick.
Run that clip, bro. I watched it in real time.
I know you sent me which I appreciate the love, and everybody who tuned in. Some of y'all tuned in and y'all were showing love, and I got a lot of DMs and all of that. So I felt really proud, really encouraged. I felt the love. But this was your boy out in Sevilla, Spain, which I didn't even know that was Sevilla. I didn't even know that was an area in Spain. I never heard of it before. But this is your boy walking out. En la esquina, you can hear that, right?
Yeah, I can hear that. Yeah. Look at that, bro. An arena.
Taking these chances, they didn't give us the answers, so I gotta go out and get it. I'ma hold them up for ransom. This how I planned it. Did it right here, I'm saying it came from the Lord, they counted us out. Now we standing on the planet. They don't know what to do with me. Promise this is nothing new to me. If this came in here with hope fighting out of unity, I was supposed to make unity. They can never find to it. I'm shining. Turn it. Even over the silence. Hands up. Manos arriba. Hands up.
Let's go, bro.
This is our moment. This is our moment. This is our moment. This is our moment.
Hard.
Yes, sir, Ski.
That's tough. With the pyros going, come on, huh?
Yeah,
that was tough, bro.
70,000 seat stadium. So 70,000 people up in there, and that mug was packed, bro. Like it was. Yeah. It's not like, you know, when you watch boxing events, typically the stadium doesn't start filling up until, like, as you get closer and closer to the main event. That's when, you know, the seats start filling up. Yeah, this was like the opposite, bro. Like the whole joint was packed, like from at the start. From jump.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I walked out there on the floor, and just to kind of get, you know, the lay of the land of the eye, and I'm looking around like, bro, Spaniards, dog, they on another level, man. They extrovert their excitement, like they were through the roof. So I was like, and it's funny because my wife, she was like nervous for me. Like she was watching it. She was like, I feel like I'm about to throw up because she just saw all the people there. She was hoping like I didn't mess up or something went wrong. And it's like in front of that many, it was 6 million people watching like that performance.
Right.
Dude.
That's
6 million people watching it, which is wild. But I like the nerves just weren't there for me. Like, I mean, like maybe 10%, but I was ready. I felt like, yo, I'm built for this moment. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have.
Do you feel like you're nervous beforehand, and then once it's like the music starting, you walking out, like it's autopilot from there?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yes, I think yes. Historically, yeah. It's like you'll feel some nerves going up, but like the whole day, I felt like solid. Even being in the tunnel, like before we walked out, I was just ready to go. You know what I mean? And it was funny. I was laughing so much, bro, because my dad is funny. So he had the same type of access that I did. So he's behind the scenes and in the tunnel, or he's behind the scenes and in the green room and all that kind of stuff. We was kicking it with my man. And shout out to like Varouge. Y'all go follow him, man. Like he puts in a lot of work. He's got a really great team. It was really encouraging seeing him do their thing behind the scenes. But my dad, like I'm in the tunnel, you know what I mean? Let me run back. Like I'm sitting here in the tunnel, you know, ready to go out. And I see to my right, arm's length, my dad just sitting there with his phone, like just sitting there recording me and all the behind the scenes stuff. And if you look, bro, right here, you see this figure right here?
Yeah.
That is my dad.
Hey, that's crazy.
That is my dad. Bro, I think he got more like camera time than I did. Like this dude, frame per frame, this dude is right there the whole entire bro. Like you can see him. He's like right over here in this shot. If you fast forward, hold on, wait, you saw him right there? That's him right there, this white shirt.
In the white.
Like, dog, every angle.
Hey,
like
dad, bro.
Best, like, hands down, like, all fathers need to, like, follow this model right here, dog. But it was amazing. We had a great time out there. So shout out to my pop. Shout out to Spain for making my trip.
Yeah, man. That's huge, bro.
Yeah. So
I love that, man.
Love it. Where we want to go next?
I think we could go into the wild card before we get started.
I switched up the wild card on you, by the way.
I seen, which is fine. I seen it, and I like this wild card because it's gonna expose some of you listeners.
All right, so I got a question, like, for everybody in the comments. Y'all listen to R. Kelly still or nah? Let me know, y'all. And this is, I feel like it's a bit of a tie. You listen to R. Kelly?
Who, me?
Yeah, you listen to R. Kelly?
Nah, I listen to R. Kelly, man.
Hold on. Did you listen to R. Kelly?
Prior
to, but you haven't listened to an R. Kelly song.
The moment the allegations came out, I ain't listening to R. Kelly no more.
I
want to know because we got the chat. Right in the chat. If you listening to R. Kelly stuff, I want to know. I want to see you.
Oh, shit. Nah. I feel like that's probably not a question that people feel comfortable answering. Like, we're probably not going to get a lot of people. Everybody like, hecky, nah. But everybody who's a closet R. Kelly listener, they probably going to be like, I do, but I ain't going to tell nobody.
And so you listen to R. Kelly?
I've listened to R. Kelly since the allegations. I have. Being Warner. But R. Kelly was never somebody I listened to a lot anyway.
Facts.
So I didn't have a dog in the fight where it's like, oh man, I can't listen to R. Kelly stuff no more. I was like, all right, whatever. But if it come on, like, it is what it is. Type
it is.
But check this out.
You hear "Step in the Name of Love."
Let's play this real quick. Hold on, let's play this real quick.
Yeah, run it.
This was funny. Oh wait, refresh.
Ton of horrible, stupid shit. And R. Kelly did a ton of horrible, stupid shit. But the people that he hurt, they do need to get paid. And if R. Kelly can't make any money from me playing his records,
that's crazy. I'm sorry, bro. It's hilarious. Oh,
I say that's
valid.
Oh, shit.
It is.
Bump and grind went kind of hard on Saturday night. Oh, shit. You been playing Kills?
Look.
Huh?
Dog.
Yo.
Dog.
Bro, they thought he was just making a point until he said
he played it on Saturday.
He said, what did he say? Barbara Grind went hard on Saturday. He's like, hold on, you been listening to it? He was like, absolutely.
You know what? That's a valid point. Like, the more we stream his music.
He had a good point, though.
Yeah, the more money R. Kelly makes, the more money he has to give to the victims.
Right. It's like, what do you do? Because he in jail. He ain't making no more money.
Oh, that's crazy.
Maybe he got some other deals that he gets, but it's like, he's making bread off his catalog. You know what I mean? How much do you really support the victims is the real question.
How much do you want them to be paid?
How much do you really support, Me Too, all that stuff? You might need to start running up these R. Kelly streams.
That's crazy. Running up these R. Kelly streams in support of the victims. Okay, we want the victims to get paid, not R. Kelly. The victims.
Not R. Kelly. It's a victim.
So we're gonna run "Step in the Name of Love" at this wedding.
We're gonna get canceled. You know why I switched it up though? This was wild card.
That's crazy.
I switched it up. I switched it up because it was mad funny. I saw this joint. I was like,
this is crazy.
Yeah, but this is kind of going into like the topic for this a little bit. I was trying to connect them. I don't know how well I did it, but it's just
I like it.
It's when you're making so much, and you're losing your soul, you start venturing into other things. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Maybe. I don't know if that's a good segue. Dangerous thing.
Yes. Oh my God.
Since we're here, yo. Let's go to the topic.
Oh,
let's go to the topic a little bit, and you know,
legendary.
I want to hear your thoughts on this whole angle. Like when the money is good, but your soul feels empty. You know what I mean? I feel like at some point R. Kelly done, he don't went along a pathway where the money was right. He thought he was
Facts.
above everything, and maybe what is it? Transferred his soul. You know what I mean?
To some way.
You know what
Cue
I mean? Allegedly.
who did he do the interview with? There's so many clips out of that interview that is straight gold.
Was it with Gail?
With Gail, bro. Cue a clip, bro.
They killing me. They killing
me. No, yeah. I think what in terms of the topic and like losing your soul, for me, the definition of soul was kind of, it will change based off of the person. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it in your music that you want to convey and what you want to talk about, or the style you want to stick to for yourself as an artist in the music industry to make things pop? Like sometimes you're not going to do that sound. Like one of the guys that I love, he's also from the Virgin Islands where my family's from, T-Ron. He talks about how him and his brother were in a group, but the song that blew up for them, they make rap music, R&B, whatever, and the song that blew up for them was a pop song. You know what I'm saying? So you have that ability, but the need for a writer wasn't for y'all to be rappers. It was for y'all to go into your pop bag. And then now they are just songwriters.
That's the lane there.
That's the lane that they're in. He wrote that one Bruno Mars in the Korean joint.
Korean?
Part APT.
Oh, I don't know.
How does it go? It was popular recently. On like TikTok, and it went crazy. So just tapping into that, because that's what's paid the bills, bro. Like sometimes being an artist for yourself, it's not always what's going, fill the pockets.
It's actually kind of relevant because in the interesting thing about this topic is it says when the money is good but the soul is empty. I know there might be some indie artists listening where it's like, well, I ain't even got to the point where the money is really good. You know what I mean? So how is this relevant to me? I think this is good along the way because, we believe in you here at Neue.Indie that, it will get good. And when it does get good, how do you handle that success? But also too,
facts,
as you're trying to scaffold towards, greater revenue, in your music career, thinking of that question early on to say like, well, as I'm studying, just what the music landscape looks like and the cats who are popping and seemingly, making the bags are making this kind of music. So maybe I need to make a pivot, how to evaluate that to say like, is this really the right direction for me? Is this something that, will be beneficial for my career? Or is this going to set me back in different ways? Setback could look like, I'm trading my satisfaction as an artist, my desire, my drive, my purpose as an artist for something that is just, at the end of the day, just giving me a certain type of success, aka money, but maybe not the type of success that feels rewarding at the end of the day. So, like this was.
Like that, go ahead. I feel like not to cut you off. I feel like this is a common theme. Like you always hear from a rich person, like money isn't everything. You know what I'm saying? You always hear that from somebody that got money. You know what I'm saying? And I remember when Swoop made a song, and it always stuck with me. Like I wouldn't mind crying in a Lambo if that's the case. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I do think that it's important to understand that it's a real thing where you'll reach that dollar amount you strove for, and then you'll be like, man, I don't feel the fulfillment's not there. So at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, you have to do a self-inventory on yourself and be like, all right, well, what is the thing that I'm striving for? Because you thought it was a money amount and you made that amount of money and it's still not fulfilling, and you still feel lost, you still feel helpless, or you don't feel like what you planned on your career to look like looks like. And I do think it's a conversation for yourself to find out what your purpose, what the real purpose is and what you're aiming for. So that's the main reason with the soul and what it feels like. Because there'd be some times, and maybe you feel like this, where you'll make a song for the songs that are needed, especially in the sync space, are oftentimes not the vibe that I would do naturally.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also maybe not even the topic I would do naturally. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
Yeah.
it's just like, but that's what's gonna pay. If I study this, if I study how to do this well, it's gonna pay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
do you feel like you lose your artistic side of yourself in doing that?
Yeah. I was going to say, I relate to the example that you gave early on with your homeboy, where like one of my biggest songs, I think still to this day, I think it might be the most streamed song that I have, is called Hold You Down.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the last song I think we wrote for an EP that I did a couple years ago, like 2018. And it was and is not my favorite song on the EP. It might actually be my least favorite song on the
On it.
EP, and not because I don't like it. It's just because
Right.
as an artist, that's just not, because even that song, like that song wouldn't even came about had not my manager said, I love this EP, but it's missing a single. And she was absolutely right. Like that joint took off. You know what I mean? Like where we weren't even anticipating it, but I remember like everything that I wrote from, like for that EP, I wrote in isolation, just me and my producer. It was just like a very genuine offering.
Yeah.
And thankfully, like my audience resonate, like still, like I talk about it every now and then, but I feel like still to this day, it's one of my, like those who have followed me, you know what I mean, my career, they look at that EP and say like, yo, Goodish. Like I still get text messages occasionally from like my homies who
From
send
Goodish.
me, yeah, they who send me that EP, like, bro, this joint still helps me like get out of my own way, or just help me when I'm going through whatever it is that I'm going through. And so that's that dynamic. Like I probably would have wished one of my other songs went that crazy, but the song that I liked the least, that I didn't even really write, on my own. Like I wrote it, but it was a collaboration. But anyway,
Effort.
It's one of those things where, well, actually, I wanted to ask you, what side of this do you stand on? Like, are you on the side of like, yo, get the bag? You know what I mean? Or are you like follow your heart, follow your dream, like follow what's in you? Like, where do you kind of stand on that conversation?
I being the dreamer in me says you can do both. You know what I'm saying? Like you can fully be yourself and you see it happen. But there's an aspect of me where I'm like, get the bag first. You know what I'm saying? Especially depending on where you are in your life. Like get the bag first, set yourself up, set your bank account up to where now you can actually execute on the things that you had in your head and money no longer be an obstacle. Like,
Yeah.
so I am an advocate for chase the bag. Don't let go of your dream. Get to it, but chase the bag first.
Yeah.
And but so crazy in my brain, that's a part of the dream. Like
That's a good point.
it's all like if you are built a system so much within yourself and you know you know what you're aiming for, like
Yeah.
I can work on this season right now and I'll be like, you know what, I'm gonna focus on my project or my album later, but right now my family needs this, I need to sustain this. So I'm team get the bag first, then execute your dream once you sustain.
Yeah. If I had to pick, I'm a pragmatist in one sense.
Yeah.
So I'm like, actually, before I answer that, I want to double back a little bit too, because I do think sometimes the idea of pursuing money with your art feels at odds, where
that's good.
In the minds of some, you know what I mean? Like you almost have to be a bit of a sellout to really achieve a certain amount of whatever, revenue, success that you're looking for. And those who maybe hold a more purist view is just like, nah, make the type of music that's in you, they'll come, you know what I mean? And
sure.
It's tough because I'm kind of like you. Like I kind of ascribe to both because I do like the artist in me is just like, yo, you need to make the music that's in you because only you can say what you can say, and it has value, and it's helpful. It can be helpful for whoever's on the other side listening, but that doesn't always mean the thing that you are really talented at, the way that you say it, the however you craft it, any of that is what the market is really wanting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's one of those things where it's like, if you are trying to monetize your music, being sober minded enough to say like, yo, what is the market actually looking for? Do I make that? Do I want to make that?
Yeah. Real.
And having honest conversation to say like, okay, cool. I'm not willing to sacrifice the art that I make to transform it into this thing that everybody wants, even though I know it'll potentially, make me some more revenue. Because even that's not a guarantee. We just using it as a data point.
Right.
But I guess I don't like, on the other side too, demonizing going a different direction sonically that may not be your norm if you have the capacity to, and it could potentially, be a revenue stream for you. But again, too. I do think it depends on the type of artist you are. I'm that type of artist. Like I'm okay with it because I've always been a creative chameleon. Like I'll try a bunch of stuff, and not even like, and maybe this is a bit of a contradiction to my point, because me making what's authentic to me, like my authentic self is a chameleon. You know what I mean? So I'm
right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm okay with making a ton of different music, even if it's stuff that people don't like, it's stuff that people do like. Right. So that's authentic to me. That may not be authentic to everybody else. So maybe I'm disproving my, part of what I just said.
Yeah.
You feel me?
I get what you mean. I don't think it discredits it at all or invalidates it, because you just learned those different trades or the different ways to approach the genre in a different way. I think that it speaks to, chasing after the dream, but for you, it just looked like multiple. It's okay to use multiple means to get there.
Right.
I've had people straight up tell me like, "Nah, you selling out because you're doing sync music." Like,
yeah.
And it's just a common thing with artists, because they automatically think making sync takes the soul out of it. And the question I would ask, is that true?
That's making music for TV and film, the sync licensing, or maybe creating music of any other type of genre that's maybe not your home genre,
right?
A sellout kind of move.
Is that a sellout? And I think, that's the question.
How do we define sellout? Like, what do you say sellout?
That's a great point. I think the best way that I can put it, because I don't think it's selling out, but I'm trying to look from their vantage point, not sticking to the traditional means of what it looks like to be an artist. Like, you're not really focusing on TV and film. You're more so dropping your record online, making music videos, and doing TV, like doing shows, like going out and performing on a consistent basis. Would be the traditional route. And I think the new independent artist, you see what I did there? The new indie can't think like that. You can't just think like that in 2026, because it's just not sustainable. It's such a fleeting thing that it has become, is because now it's more so what it appears to look like than what's actually happening. And that's the danger of it all. Like, so.
Yeah, because I'm like, if me as an artist changing up my, my style or experimenting, going into a new lane because I know it's potentially more lucrative. If that's, I feel like that's probably what most people think, is just like, that's not what you would really want to do, or
right.
Or you would naturally do, or if money wasn't an object, you wouldn't really be doing that. They might be true in some sense, because I think for me personally, like, if would I be doing music for TV and film if I was making money on my other side, like the other side of, more traditional route?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. Like, I maybe not, but or maybe I wouldn't have as much. Maybe I wouldn't be as heavy handed in it as I am now. Like, to be honest, like I don't know if I would be as prioritized. Or my music would be as prioritized to this space had I been making the same amount of money as an artist. You know what I mean? That's a good argument. But I do think that I have, like, whether or not I was making money with it, I would have absolutely wanted to pursue this direction,
For
which
sure.
is why a lot of artists still want to pursue this direction. You know what I mean?
And
Because
that's what I was going to say. I feel like the artists that are at the top, they're not missing a cent of anywhere their music can go. So I'm pretty sure the label that Beyonce is signed to is like, hey, where can we also put her song? She was just in the trailer. I forgot what show it was. It's a new film coming out with Damson Idris. And they trailerized one of her songs. And I'm pretty sure the label had something to do with that because they see the benefit in an artist's music being in TV and film. So it's like, you can call it a sellout, but I do think it's because your business mind of how an artist can actually look is so confined that you think social media is the guy. But these labels, they'll quickly put their artists into a trailer because they know how lucrative that is.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I've seen or heard Doechie's Crazy in a trailer and in a movie.
Nuts.
Like, I was watching, I think it's called They Will Kill You or something like that.
Yeah.
Or, have you seen that movie?
No, I haven't. I seen the trailer.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it. No.
It's a crazy movie. But it's dope. It reminds me of like some Quentin Tarantino type stuff. But literally there was a fight scene and I didn't recognize it at the time, but they had like a stripped down version. It was like kind of heavy 808, very percussive. And I was like, this is hard. And I was trying to Shazam it. I think it wasn't coming up. But I was listening to it, and as it started to evolve, I was like, "Oh, this is Doechii." Like,
that's crazy.
No wonder I like this. But I've heard her stuff in like 10 different movies. You know what I mean? And that's a bag. And I think that's the perfect storm where you just got a record, and maybe people will argue it's like, well, I don't think she intentionally made that. Like, she probably made that out of her own, her own creative exploration,
freedom.
Creative freedom, and it just so happened to work for that. But it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna make this for that. You know what I mean? Which I hear that, and not to kind of go too far down this road, because I do want to tack on, like, how do you do this? You know what I mean? Like, how do you scale revenue without losing your soul? Because I think that's what most artists would want. It's like, I want to make the music that I like, and I want to make a lot of money doing it, and not feel like I got to compromise my sound just for some money. You know what I mean? It's like, is that possible? How can you do that? Is it, you know what I mean? Like, what, and if it is, how do you do it without losing yourself? You know what I mean? Like, is it possible? How do you do it if so?
I think it's 100% possible. I think the word compromise, the nuance on the word compromise, because I do think in order to do it, you have to be willing to compromise, not on the core stuff, but you do have to compromise on some other things to where you can find a sound that fits within the need within the market that you also enjoy, and do that at the highest level you can. So if you like high energy music and you like raging at shows, and that's your brand, that's what you want your brand to be, you then pivot to making cinematic high energy records that tickle the ears of the people looking for it in TV and film, but also the people that will be able to enjoy it, and you can make fans. I think we've seen that in real time. Like, not everybody who's a fan of Frank for a song that I sent to let's say Artlist, they're not all video creators. Some of them are just music listeners. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they're fans of just the music. But that song was designed to be used for video creators. So there is a means to make both happy.
I think all great art that really touches people, inspires people, moves people is a compromise.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is, if I'm really going to make music that moves people, it has to have a certain level of empathy for whoever's on the other side, for them
For sure.
to respond to. And you can't have like compromise. I don't think you can have like life-changing experiences. Like people have life-changing experiences with your music without a certain compromise, understanding like, if I'm going to articulate something in a particular way, does this actually move? Does this actually make somebody feel something? And the more you make somebody feel, what I mean, at a deeper level, like something that's really tangible, internally, like that's where people start to like really become advocates and fans of you. And that,
yes,
like they're wanting to support you, or to, like, see you continue to do what you're doing by the transfer of dollars, you know what I mean? Or showing up or pulling up to a show or buying a piece of merch because you've done something so transcendent through your music that they resonate with it. But I don't think you can do that without empathy. And I do think empathy, like to really have that, you have to really defer your wants, you know what I mean? And
100%.
Pursuit of in exchange for somebody else's, you know what I mean? So that's why I think the art that really transcends and moves people does at some point have a level of compromise. And then you take it to another level of, if you're really trying to do business well, you have to compromise in a sense, because all of the things that you want to do, like the things that you may want to do, may not be what your audience or your consumer or your customer wants. I even look at it too, like in marriage, you know what I mean? It's like there's certain levels of compromise. Like if you come into a marriage where it's just like, man, I'm just finna do me. He or she's just gonna have to get with the program. Like I'm not changing this about myself. Like this is just what I feel. You know what I mean? Like you'll find very, very quickly,
time, buddy.
Very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Where y'all are looking at divorce papers, or somebody is just deteriorating so much that they just don't feel like themselves in a marriage because, that one dominant voice becomes oppressive, because it's like you're unwilling to change, you're unwilling to really empathize with it and have that level of compromise. So I do think, but even within that analogy, there are ways, and there should be ways. I think every healthy marriage knows how to keep, like you know how to keep your identity, but still can engraft into one another's worlds and compromise and still be one, even when you are two distinctly. So that's where, and I think that becomes, now going back to the artist, a creative problem to solve, to say like, how can I, as a creative, get more creative to make music that I actually do enjoy, that I can stand behind, but also music that touches people and can grow, my revenue.
Yeah. And that compromise is the difference between having success and failure. Like, finding the balance between that compromise is, if you feel like you're not seeing success in one side or the other, making that shift alone could be the difference between the success and the failure of it. And I love the marriage analogy, because a cup that is constantly pouring out will eventually be empty. But if there's a equal exchange of pouring and being filled, and we translate that over to being an artist, to where you have your sound, but you're going to compromise a little here and there to appease your audience, that's where you will probably feel more fulfilled and get a better return on your art. So I think that's gold.
Yeah, man, I agree, dude. Dope. Like, and this also, I guess the last thought I have is going back to those who just feel very like the hill that they'll die on is like, man, I have this unique sound that is not for the masses, quote unquote. That's still fine too. Like I do believe, within this new artist economy, being the new indie,
Yeah.
there are more ways to. This is the best time I feel like in history to develop your own niche and your own audience, because as many billions of people there are in the world, you could probably court 1,000 of them to support your career. You know what I mean? Even
Easily,
if you got
yeah.
something that's completely
Wild.
alternative to what yeah, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, so that, I think that's an upside too, where for those who just feel like, man, I just don't feel like I fit within a general market of what everybody is the wave that they're on. The thing is, you might have a little bit more of an uphill battle, but the beautiful thing is that there's an audience out there for you. And again, going back to why I think building your own communities is a cheat code nowadays, because you can, again, defining whatever success looks like for you,
Yeah.
having that in mind, and then pairing it up with a strategy where you can build your own ecosystem, your own community, who will show up and who gets you as is, what I mean, without having to do too much shifting. But even still, I still feel like what we're talking about applies, because even if you court that audience, you still have to have empathy to say, like, well, what is it that they really appreciate about this? Like, what do they want? What are they struggling with? Like, how can I meet that? And now that becomes the overflow of your creative expression, allowing that to influence you to then, deliver that offering to your audience.
Yeah, but I think that that's gold, and I feel like, I feel like with what you just said, I feel like that tackles the talking points of, just in terms of these things that these different goalposts that we add to our careers to find like satisfaction in it. And I think that you can engineer in 2026, you can engineer or cultivate rather, a community, like you said, to shape your career the way that you want to, and it still be sustainable. And I think that's adding the soul back into your craft, and how to do it by following those steps. So I think that that's fire.
My bad, I hit that a little early, but you was on
you
one.
good, you good. Yeah,
I was trying to cue it up.
Fire. Nah, you good, you good. Yeah, so that's dope. I think as an indie artist, I think a lot of time these are the unspoken things that people feel. It's like, well, I want to do that, but I really want to drop this album, and I want people to hear my story. That is great. Do that, and then engineer and cultivate a way for your album to then sustain you. Find a way to do that. Is that easy? I ain't gonna lie, it's not. But it's possible.
Yeah, that might be a good next podcast idea too. Is like figuring out, because I do feel like there's sometimes an expectation for indie artists, for things to be just like frictionless. You know what I mean? As they're moving forward, which I empathize as well, because I know probably indie years are like, well, I feel like I'm doing a lot and I'm not getting anywhere.
Right.
But I do feel like sometimes, but I do feel like sometimes there's another mindset where the consistency, the showing up day in and day out, and also not being on the insanity wheel where they're just beating a dead horse, keep continuing to try the same things and getting the same results. But it's very nuanced. That's why, like, I love that we did this podcast, and hoping and praying it continues to get some more people, because it's a very, very layered life that we live as an independent artist, to try to figure out, like, oh, we got to be extra consistent, you know what I mean? But I'm being consistent, and stuff keeps shifting, and stuff is not moving, and then I want to make a certain type of music, but that music is not what's popping, and then I don't know, it's hard to monetize, and then people's attention spans, and then it's all of these things that feel like they're working against us. And then also we're we come in saying, like, well, you gotta stop complaining about all of it at the same time, which is all of it is true. All of it's true, but it's like, how do you put all of those things in their right place for right time? Because not every, like, there's certain times. This is why I love, like and this is a little off topic but on topic. Like, I love the Bible for obvious reasons, but there's specific scripture where Jesus was talking to, it was after Lazarus has died, and he was talking to, I think it was the two Marys, and one of them, like, they both kind of came to him, with the same type of lament where they were like, Lord, if you were here, Lazarus wouldn't have died. You know what I mean? Like that, some flavor of that. And Jesus, for one of them has said, like, basically almost like challenge her faith. You know what I mean? In that moment, that's what she needed. It was like, if you go read it, but then for the other one who kind of said the same exact thing to him, he cried with her. And that's where we get the famous Jesus wept. It was coming from there. And so the reason why I bring that up is because it's it's the same situation, but two different approaches, because it was two different people that needed two different strategies. You know what I mean? So that's why I say, like, everything that we're prescribing at times can feel complementary and contradictory at some times, because I'm very much like, stop complaining. Like, Me too. But on the other side, there's like, but you're working really hard and I get you, keep going. You know what I mean? Like, there's,
let me encourage you.
Let me encourage you. So we need all of that within this recipe of success as an independent artist. You feel me? So hopefully y'all hear that as we're going through all this stuff, because it's layered, it's nuanced, and we get it.
Yeah.
But
it's a dance, bro. It really is a dance. It's because you'll see and you'll see success with something and you'll be like, man, I can replicate this 1,000 times. And you don't see the same success with that record, and now you got to pivot. Times change, sounds change, ears, what we want to ingest change. But if you want to continue to have longevity, you got to be willing to do the dance, man. You got to be willing for it, because I ain't gonna lie to you. You'll do something one day, it worked, next day it won't, and you got to pivot, bro. So
that's anybody building, especially building something from the ground up. You know what I mean? That's
100%.
I always compare the artist journey is just like you're building a business. Like, think of yourself as a, Fortune 500, or as a startup rather. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you are. You're a startup. And if you go start reading like biographies or autobiographies from, like those who started up Uber or started up, you know what I mean? Like that they're doing Kickstarts or Shark Tank type stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, the things that we go through are all like they relate much more to just traditional business development than this, we're on an island as independent artists with these unique struggles. It's like, it's really not. You know what I mean? Like, we just don't feel like that, because I think the general market doesn't look at us as businesses. They look at us as artists. You know what I mean? So.
100%. You listen, Starbucks is known for coffee, but if you think if they sold one coffee they'll boom, nah. They got to change it up. Seasonal. They follow trends. They do their own thing. Like, it's a game, bro. This is good.
Good stuff, man.
I love it.
It's a good segment. Good stuff. All right, let's get into our other. Well, that was our topic. Let's get into our other segments.
Yes.
First up, Suno taking some L's out here in these streets. And actually, I think I got a IG reel of our guy Demiza talking about it.
Perfect. I see. Yeah. I see you put that in there, which is perfect.
Let me
I put more so
quick.
articles in there, but the Instagrams is perfect.
Yeah, I'm a lazy person, so I don't like reading.
It's all good.
I'm lazy sometimes with it.
Hey, I feels that, bro.
All right, let's run this real quick.
Oh, this is a big one. A German court has ruled that AI. Oh, this is a big one. A German court has ruled that AI music company Suno violated copyright law, marking one of the most significant legal decisions yet in the fight over AI training and music rights. The court found that Suno did not have permission to use songs represented by Germany's collecting society, Gemma, to train its AI. As part of the ruling, Suno must disclose the revenue it earned from the infringement, and the financial damages will be determined later. Suno says it disagrees with the decision and is considering an appeal. Look, this case isn't just about Germany. It's a part of a global battle over whether AI companies can train on copyrighted music without licensing it first. More than 1,800 artists are already backing legal action against Suno and Udio, and courts around the world are now beginning to weigh in. Look, this could become one of those landmark cases the entire music industry looks back on in the future. If courts continue ruling that copyrighted music can't be used to train AI without permission, and I hope they do, it could reshape licensing, royalties, and the economics of AI music for years to come. Look, this fight is far from over, but today creators scored an important legal win. Story developing. Oh,
he's got a point. This is good.
This fight is far from over, but today creators scored an important
time is ticking.
legal win.
Your time is almost up.
Oh,
all right?
I'm on your bumper. I'm on your bumper.
Export all them songs right now because look, your time is limited. Okay? I'm gonna come back.
All right, reel it in.
Yeah.
You gonna reel it in?
Yeah,
man. I just thought like this is again. I'm not very versed in the legal system and how some of these lawsuits go, but for them to rule in favor of the collection society, GEMA, I think it's a big step, and I think the right direction because of again the reality of just how all of this came to be is just like and he mentioned something too, which I don't think I've heard many people bring this up as far as using the specific language around licensing the music to train on, you know what I mean?
Which is
I think people just talk about which again my ears always perk up when I hear licensing because obviously it's our industry, but licensing I think is such a powerful tool in the artist's hands, and just as a business strategy period, you know what I mean? It's like if you're able to rent out your IP versus having to transfer ownership of it, it's powerful in general. But I can see that as a crazy new, it's almost like how we have mechanical licenses, for the reproduction of physical DVDs or like physical CDs and all that kind of stuff. It's like, would there be now some type of royalty that is, for the training of AI purposes that, these companies must kick back, you know what I mean? Which would be, again, I think a step in the right direction. But there's such a public uproar with, AI in general, not even just in music, but but what's your thoughts on this?
I think this definitely, I agree. This is a step in the right direction. I think artists, we are on the precipice of
that's a good word right there.
That's the word for the week. Okay. We are about to see where we're going to see more of this happen. And as these companies are getting put on to what Suno is actually doing, I genuinely do think we're going to see, mark my words, the regulation of AI music. And if AI music globally gets regulated, I think we're going to see a wall of AI generation happen to where only there's going to be a gate. There's going to be a gate now. Not everyone is going to be able to do it. Not everyone's going to be allowed to do it. And then we're going to see some regulation. That will be the scary side of it. But that always ends up happening when you see the abuse, which is what Suno has done. So let's blame them.
And it's interesting too, because like, the folk who are actually paying out royalties for like to the PROs and all that kind of stuff are like, distributors like radio, you know what I mean? Like media, whatever, doing some type of broadcast, public media, performance related, like they have to go to the PROs and put up bread, you know what I mean? To actually use the works that are, that these PROs represent for the artists and everything. And you said something interesting as far as like there'll probably be only a certain amount of people who can actually do this cleanly, and it would be like a Suno, type folk who want to have a product where it's leveraging other people's IPs, but they'd have to license it to train on it. And I think because of how they went about this with doing it without everyone's permission, and because we have the internet, you know what I mean, and people just make an uproar about it. It put them in a insecure place where maybe they would have been able to get better rates, you know what I mean, for licensing, stuff like that. But
yeah,
maybe now they might make them want to, you know, like artists, at least artists would probably want to make them feel it in their pockets. Be like, well, we ain't
for
gonna let
sure.
y'all license our stuff for cheap now. You know, maybe early on if y'all got our permission, but now we ain't finna yada yada. But these labels actually might cut different deals, because if the labels are really representing this IP and they're like, well, there's another revenue stream and we play ball, and with this new tech, it could potentially bring in some more revenue, because that's essentially what happened with Spotify. I think Spotify was able to survive the way that it did and become as much of a household kind of name that it is now is because, you know, it was solving a problem in a roundabout way due to the Napster era and all of this, you know, pirated music that I was a part of. You know, the problem
We all were.
back in the day.
I
was a part of that problem, but I didn't realize the ramifications of it. But now when you look at it, it's like they were providing a solution towards the labels who were bleeding, and the labels gave permission, you know what I mean, for it. But this is why I think this legal win is so powerful, because, you know, they were able to, in court, you know, win a lawsuit and get a ruling in their favor. So now that gives a bit more weight and accountability to them, where like there was nobody to really do that with early on, like with Napsters and all this other kind of stuff. Like they just all phased out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now it's just like we got somebody to point at. Before we didn't have anybody to point at, because they're just, you know what I mean? Or they did, but it's just, I just feel like it's a little different. So
yeah. I pray that this is the beginning of the end.
The beginning of the end. You just
for a lot of you.
You know, I love the menacing look.
Come on, bro.
Camera, bro.
Come on, dog. Let's go.
All right, man. In film entertainment, Spider-Man: Brand New Day climbed to 360 million box office domestic. First week, opening week, something like that? How did
opening weekend? Yep.
I mean, beating out the Avengers. You want to talk about that?
I think this is just an article talking about it. So in 3 days, just on the weekend. So I guess they include Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. At 360 million as an advert against Endgame, which was their second largest opening, which only made 357.
Okay.
And the global opening is now at almost $1 billion.
I see that now. Do you know what Avengers was like for their global?
For their global, I think they reached
2 billion. I see it right here. Yeah, so it says
2 billion. Yeah.
It said it happened. Sony Marvel Studios Spider-Man Brand New Day is now the biggest opening ever at the North American box office, with a 3-day of 360 million, taking down Disney's Marvel Studio previous domestic debut with 2019's Avengers Endgame, which opened at 357 million. The revised global opening is now 932 million, which still stands as the second best worldwide opening at the box office, behind Avengers Endgame, which is 1.22 billion. Said Tom Rothman, chairman of CEO, Sony Pictures, yada yada. He said, wow, 360 million. Thank you. So all of the filmmakers, actors, producers, and to my colleagues at Sony who created such a fantastic film and exceptional marketing and distribution campaign. Records are made to be broken, but we will take pride in this one as long as we hold it.
Which is crazy. So they also said that that's Tom's biggest opening at a domestic box office. And it's also Zendaya and the director's best opening overall at the box office. So this movie has shaped up to be, which I'm seeing it on Tuesday, so I'll be able to give a good rundown on the film. It's just, I want to know what pulled people, because we've seen more so to your point earlier, we've seen Marvel movies come out after Endgame. We've had a plethora.
Yeah.
It's just something about Tom Holland as Spider-Man that just...
Is that what it is?
It is. Come on, bro. It's something about...
It's Tom Holland. I will say, I think as far as the live actions, I think he did bring a certain like charm and innocence and like charisma, I think, to it that none of the other ones had. Like, he does feel like your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like, he has a certain level of, it's that X factor that he definitely does do. Like, he's very quick-witted and he's just a polished actor, and he was the right fit for that franchise. So I mean, hats off to them.
Hats off. That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's weird. Like I said too, because I still, personally, I put the animated, Miles Morales as my favorite Spider-Man franchise, and then I personally like, was it Andrew Garfield or whatever?
Andrew Garfield.
I personally liked like the Amazing Spider-Man when that first came out. I still like that better than the newer Spider-Mans that came out.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's wild. That's a wild.
Fight me in the comments
statement.
for it, but
that's a wild statement.
Yeah,
better than when he showed up in the film. They had Andrew Garfield, Toby, and Tom.
Bro, yeah, that was a dope moment too. That was a dope moment.
That's the best one.
Yeah,
the real question is,
I do think Tom Holland has better, like more range. Like when he did when he was disappearing and what was the one before Endgame where everybody was going away? Was it Infinity Stones? Infinity War? Yeah.
Infinity War.
Yeah, he has some heart. He'll put, like, Tom Holland will pull on your heartstrings.
Pull on your heartstrings. Supposedly on this film, he'll make you cry. Making grown men cry.
Yeah. Listen, but again, this is it's a very subjective opinion. You know what I mean? Like, but y'all can say I'm crazy for, but if I'm picking a movie to watch, I'm probably gonna watch the Andrew Garfield. Right? I just like
that's crazy. Hey, I'm cool with it. I argue
you're
Tom
actually
Holland.
Not. You're actually not, but it's all good.
I don't. All right, but Tom Holland's my favorite one.
Yeah,
but I understand.
Yeah.
How is he upside down on the scaffolding without holding anything? I'll let your imaginations handle that.
Where we at? All right, let's talk about some. Got some culture and tech news. Is it time to leave Apple? We got a new Samsung device out that's apparently shaking up the industry.
It is. Right? Everybody's talking about it. Every tech influencer is ditching their iPhones for right now, and they are getting Samsung's new phone.
Okay, and it's hard to get out of the Apple ecosystem. Dog.
It is, and I think they know that. So they're going to hand you a phone that's subpar.
Well, all right. Let's talk about that. Yeah. Like, well, first let's watch this and then we'll talk about that.
Bet.
Refresh.
Switching from my iPhone, I spent the last 7 days switching from my iPhone to the most talked about phone of the year, and it did not go how I expected. Here's my honest week on the Z Fold 8. First thing, nobody warned me about how awesome this 4x3 dimension or passport size is. Closed, and it passes for a normal phone, just kind of cut in half. Open that square screen.
You know what's funny is he said it's the size of a passport, and I feel like I saw a lady with this phone when I traveled to Spain.
Oh yeah.
So it's a little alley-oop with the passport thing, but anyway.
Screen is honestly great for reading, scrolling, flipping it sideways.
And this dude says honestly a lot in this video. I'm just throwing that out.
That's his crutch word.
The camera, honestly, it can be amazing, and minutes apart, other scenes just
like, why do people say honestly? Like, are you out here being dishonest? Like,
it's his crutch word. I have a crutch word. I see it. I tell every time I'm having a conversation, I use a crutch word all the time, and I know what it is.
Yeah, I got to
share it. I ain't gonna share it because then y'all gonna get a counter on me. It's not happening. But yeah,
which is why I actually, on my goals, I want to do like a Toastmasters or some type of communications class to sharpen how I actually articulate myself. But
yes, agreed. I need that yesterday.
Sidebar.
kind of fall apart depending on the lighting. When I unfold the phone and record video, this display is the best salesman the camera has. And one thing Samsung quietly removed is flex mode. So it won't hold an angle anymore. It just springs open. And the thing that surprised me the most is that as a Face ID person, the side fingerprint reader is legit. Do I keep going or does the iPhone come back? I spent the
side fingerprint reader is kind of dope. I ain't gonna hold you.
Me the most Tough. Is that as a Face ID person,
the real question is, I love tech.
Is legit. Right. Do I keep going or does the iPhone?
And I have been an Apple user since I married my wife. We just celebrated our 10-year anniversary. So for the last 10 years, I've had an iPhone, and I've never felt it. I've never felt like I've upgraded my phone ever. It doesn't feel faster. The screen don't feel crazy. The camera feel the same. And I got to ask myself, is Apple robbing me blind? And I think they are, because I'm tied to their ecosystem.
Let me tell you something. All right. Let me tell you something.
I have a Mac ecosystem, so I got to keep a phone. Nah, I'm leaving.
Think so? Wow.
I'm leaving. I'm out of here. So when you see my text go green,
I'm removing you from the group chat when that's
crazy. See, and that's the problem. That's the real issue that I'm scared of, because I am a part of group chats, and when they go green, they're gonna be like, "Who is this?"
Thoroughly hate it when we're trying to when I'm trying to use all of the iMessage functionality, and then it gets disrupted because somebody wants to have an Android device.
See, and that's the social bullying that is happening, that's keeping people from enjoying a better device.
So, all right, here's a question. What is it really a better device? I don't know, because I kind of feel like all of these devices really kind of do the same thing. One thing I will say Apple has an edge on is like aesthetically. And it's just coming from somebody who has a background of design, branding, UX, UI, all that kind of stuff. Like, I think the cohesion and the, like just how they actually anticipated the user interface, the design choices, the limitations they actually put around. People don't understand that. iPhone, Apple puts limitations around how you interact with the device to keep a certain, what's the word? Like, what is the word I'm looking for? No, as a designer, I get it, because you limit the amount of customization to keep a certain like look and feel and intent. You know what I mean? When it delivers out, because people, like, designers are designers for a reason. You know what I mean? And you, like, when you're inside of great design, it's seamless. You don't really know it, but when you're outside of it, you can intuit certain things that just don't feel like they belong. And I think Apple does that really well with their devices, their product line, their marketing. Everything feels one. You know what I mean? For the most part, and they've done some things that I feel like break it a little bit for me, but overall, they do a good job with it. And I think I have a lean towards it because I'm such a strategist in my mind, where I'm like, I just want to consolidate, and I like when everything works well together. So that's probably why I probably will never, I would say never, but until somebody else, because Apple has such a head start of an ecosystem, from laptops to AirPods to watches to freaking, you know what I mean? Like, even the software that they have within it, like the App Store, like they just, like, they're the power. You, like, nobody even like freaking trying to do stuff within the Claude browser, because Claude introduced like a browser within the desktop version of it. Now I'm still getting out of that because all of my stuff is in another browser, and so I'm not finna switch a browser. And then I'm using different examples. I'm talking about Google Chrome. Like, I have everything in Google Chrome. So it's just like, but that's the power of consolidation, at least for me, when everything works seamlessly. It just makes your life easier.
I'm not mad at that. That is a great. I'm not mad at that at all.
Fight me, though.
I'm the type of person, and maybe that's why I really made the jump into being a full-time creator. I hate somebody telling me how I gotta do something. I can't stand it. So Apple telling me, hey, your phone has to look like this. Who are you, my dad? I'm gonna make it look like however I want to, bro. And Apple,
and you a type of build your own PC too, right?
Yeah, I build my own. Yeah,
that ain't me.
Yeah, I'm gonna build my own PC. Why? Because if it fails, it was on me. But if it shines, it was also me who made it shine. So on Android, if I want my phone to respond a certain way and my apps is down here and this is over here and my phone flip open, that's what Apple needs to understand.
So you think you want that? You think you want that? You really don't want that? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you. I know you don't. Let me tell you why you don't want that. So you ever been on Netflix? You know what I mean? And you just scrolling through, and you sit there scroll through, and you probably pushing like, all right, 15 minutes. All right, now I'm at 30 minutes.
Yeah,
I don't spend as much time. I could have been watched the movie by now because you got all these options. Here's the thing. Too many options. You don't really want that because remember when you went to theater and you had maybe 8, 10, 12 options, you were way more decisive and you had probably a better experience because you just was like, and you were more exposed to different cinema, like stuff maybe you probably wouldn't have watched it made you a better person because you didn't have all these options. You know what I mean?
That's
with the more decisive.
It made me a better person.
It made you a better person. Made you more.
That's crazy. Look at it like this, bro. It's like a It's like a bowling alley. All right, you put the rails up. All right.
Yep.
Do I have to hit the rails? No, I can curve it within it. I can do whatever I want. But you just don't let me go outside the lines. That's what it needs to look like.
How you gonna become a better bowler if you always got the guard rails up? You know what I'm saying?
This is why. Hold on now. This is why iPhone needs to let go a little bit and let us design, because then there'll be a better phone if they let us free. They let us free. Design it freely. I'm tired. I can't even change. They give us this whack behind glass. That's it. That's all you got on your iPhone. It's boring, bro.
So do you think aesthetically this phone looks better than iPhone?
Yes. Like just off of visuals.
You think so?
Yeah, it looks better. And I can't wait to just answer the phone like this, flicking it open. And if somebody tried me, I just slam it closed. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to bring that back. You never hung up on somebody like this, man. What'd you say to me? I can't wait to do that again.
You just throw your wrist a certain way, it just snap closed.
Just do like this. You just flick it like this.
It back over.
Yeah, I can't wait to bring that back, bro.
Yeah, I'm not a big
all of that.
I'm not a big fan of the UX of like Android, personally. Even so, here's the thing. This is how I know. I think I'm not biased with this because I do just think iPhone as a designer, I think they just have better
seamless design
taste.
Yeah,
it's a better design taste in my opinion. But there was another company called Nothing. I don't know if you heard of them.
I love Nothing products.
Yeah, so shout out to Nothing. They were the only ones that made me like retire my AirPods because I just
the headphones.
Yeah, I love the look of these joints. They kind of got a high tech look, like it's kind of see through.
Apple could never. I love you, Apple. I love you, Apple. I'm just joking. It's jokes. but
I just even like I love Nothing's branding. Like their branding is really sharp. But the thing, even their phones look fire. Like
tough.
The phones are the only ones I've seen in the market that made me want to like jump ship off Apple. But you know what got me is I'm so ingrained within the ecosystem where my productivity is tied to the Apple ecosystem.
And that's how they got you, bro.
Yeah, and I'm
they got
way
their
more
little fingers just.
Yeah, I trade efficiency over
100%,
probably like, you know what I mean.
100%.
So
I get that. I understand. I get that.
Yeah,
but I won't be giving Apple any more of my dollars for right now.
Yeah, I do. I would love to see that challenge with like Apple doing a complete redesign, or at least a redesign that feels like more of an evolution than just kind of the familiar that we've seen with the iPhone and all that kind of stuff.
Well, so they say this upcoming September, their phones is going to revitalize their idea of the iPhone. So they're coming out with the foldable phone. And then, of course, And supposedly it's supposed to be like over $2,500, which is another conversation.
Yeah.
$3,000, a 1998 Honda Civic in
You
price.
stupid.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
Look, but see, here's the thing. I would probably put the bread up for it just because this is the only piece of tech I use the most out of anything. And so
they got you, bro. They got
yeah,
you.
I mean, like our smartphones, we use that more than any other device, any other piece of tech. And so it's like, if I want something that I use the most to be, you know, the most useful, you know what I mean? And if the price tag is there, cool.
That's a bar.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm with it because I look at it as an investment. If it can really give me back my time and all this other kind of stuff, if it's just, you know, if it's just dialing, you know, calling people, I'm just like, nah, I ain't paying $25 for that.
Facts.
But
this is but
legit a computer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If your productivity is tied to your phone, choose whichever one fits your productivity the most, whether they're scamming you or not. But
all right, let's get into this gaming segment. GTA, dude,
right around the corner, man.
Damn near everything in GTA 6, apparently, man. I feel like we got to do a special episode when it drops.
We do. When it drops,
it's going to be a live GTA episode. Yeah, it's going to be a live GTA.
Us playing live would be nuts, but that would be fire. That would be fire.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments if y'all want to see that. Oh shoot, I didn't even share my screen, but it's a reel that we found online from. I don't know how to say it.
LAD Bible.
I'm gonna share the screen and y'all can look at it. That's my crush word is These are some of the things we'll reportedly be able to do in GTA 6. Dirt bike racing, scuba diving.
Okay.
Playing video games.
That's insane.
That's the wildest thing. We're gonna come back to that.
That's gonna be wild.
Mini golf, kayaking, hunting.
Hunting's gonna be sick.
Fishing, and then MMA fighting. All right. Which of these are you most excited about?
I would say the ones that probably weren't in it before, like MMA fighting. Supposedly, you can make your character MMA fighter, gain a rep, and like have a ranking system and fight other fighters. I can already see that that's going to be its own world within itself.
Yeah.
Supposedly, this is the rumor. Supposedly, you can record music in it. You could be an artist in the game. Like, just think about how
the Neue.Indie inside of GTA.
Bro, imagine how crazy that would be to have a server where cats are actually making music in the server. I ain't gonna get too much. I ain't gonna spoil too much because then somebody gonna steal the idea. I'll tell you offline. But being able to record music in it is gonna be nuts.
Like, imagine people like live streaming. It's not like what if that's
concerts.
Yeah, it's just like you can live stream, like how people just Twitch stream inside.
Facts.
In real life, you could Twitch stream inside of there with other GTA players that you can tap in. It's like, that's crazy.
It's gonna be nuts. That's gonna be crazy.
But at what point is it just like
it's weird after a while?
Just live life. Like,
just go do that in real life. You weirdo. Right. Like, you trying to be a famous
right? How meta does it end up going? Where it's like the person who's doing the Twitch stuff can then like what if you could create your own video game inside of the video game, and then that video game can like
that'd be nuts, and then it gets popular inside the video game.
Right.
It's coming.
What things didn't we see on that list that would be dope to do in GTA? Like, what other real life stuff?
I feel like they covered, because I know racing is in it.
Yeah.
You fighting is clearly in it. You could buy cars.
It's like a stock market in there.
Yeah, you could buy clothes, shoes.
The social media platform in there now
is in there. I genuinely, I don't think that there's anything that you can't do in there.
I wonder if they let you travel like international. That probably would be the next phase of.
Oh, the moment they add that.
Yeah, going to different territories. That would be. I don't even know how you would.
To the moon. Yeah, that'd be too much. But I know it's coming though. Once GTA 6 hits online, somebody said hooping, bro.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
Imagine playing basketball or like any sports in general.
Basically, what they trying to do is all the games that you could buy on PS5, you just gonna be able to play them.
Yeah, 2K. Okay.
Right, Madden. You can play football. You play whatever you want. Football. They're just gonna start adding more things to do in that mug and just optimizing them. So,
bro, and then if your character like online, like you building up your character, like you can. The world is open. You can make ops. You can do anything. I'm excited for it. I think that'd be crazy.
You know, it'd be crazy though if like this is the deviant side. This is my purple, demon emoji moment. Hey. But if like Cats is like basically, you know how in The Sims you go to sleep and you sleep in your house or whatever. But if you could like break into people's houses while their avatars sleep and like rob them, probably take this. So then I would take it. Go ahead.
Bro, you get an alert on your phone. Somebody robbing you, and you got to wake up in real life, run to your PlayStation, and try to like, that'd be crazy,
bro. And
that'd
then
be crazy.
Now you got to think like security for the place that, like, I think actually having it where it's vast enough where you could legit buy your own real estate that is yours. You know what I mean? Like you go to.
I would start a security company.
Bro, what if you could start your own companies in it?
I'm going to stand outside your crib with the heat. Right. You go to sleep. It's going to get crazy, bro.
Bro, we'd be on demon time like at that point.
I'm going to be on straight demon time because I'm nuking everybody.
Because then you would have to think about how to like create a certain security system for your house and then how to break into people's actual houses, and if you're in the house, like being able to spray cat, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm shooting you, bro. You're not even gonna get to the game. You're gonna be gone.
Or I do think if they evolved it to the level of like what you could do with Sims, where you can have relationships and like, because you could like get a girlfriend and all this kind of, they could live with you. Like,
I think that's happening. Yeah,
is it?
I think that's happening. Yeah.
Yeah,
like relationships are going to be very important. Like they have like a whole trust meter on how much they trust you and don't, and then that'll dictate how they act or what you get. So it's coming. That's coming.
I don't think we're going to be satisfied until it turns into Ready Player One.
For sure. Yeah, you VR that mug, and then you just that's what's going to happen. That's
what it's like, being able to have the escapism to go into other worlds and experience them. Because you think about it, like the gaming community is vastly more average, middle class. Like, I mean, obviously, everybody games, but I feel like, the majority of consumer probably fits in that bracket, maybe.
Yeah.
But for those who but just like maybe where they are in their finances, whatever, they can't do all of these different, excursions and stuff like that. But if you were able to build a console that can take you into a place that feels almost as real as a real thing. Yeah. Like that's a premium for people where they can kind of escape and have experiences from their home at a low cost. You know what I mean?
It's about to be
relatively.
Yeah. And if you already got a PlayStation, you halfway there.
You're
halfway there. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I know that going into the far left pendulum where people really start to define their identity and
in it,
there's a virtual lifestyle where they're negating real relationships, or I think the where it really starts to get the step above that, where it really starts to get problematic, is the artificial intelligence side of it, where people are building relationships with these, like, especially with bots that can be glorified yes men, it can kind of satisfy every desire in a sense like that. That's going into a different territory. If you're connecting with people via the video game, I feel like that's all right, it's cool. It's a different form of community.
Right.
May not be for everybody, but anyway, so
that sounds like social media today.
Yeah. It's just gamified. You know what I mean?
It's just going to gamify social media, which I think is what Grand Theft Auto is aiming to achieve.
Yeah. All right. Last segment, talking licensing, our favorite industry.
Yes, sir. And this is more so an article from Forward Music.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't think we have a video on this one, but this is just more so information in terms of where, just based off of the current market and what things are looking like, is that libraries seem to be uh, running the game of 70% of sync deals between the years of 2024 and 2026,
Yeah.
while only 30% were direct to brand or supervisors.
Yeah. So, and I think this is a really great article for anybody just looking to get into the space of licensing your music for TV and film. But
Yeah.
this is a good and interesting statistic to say, hey, the volume of music that is currently being licensed is coming from, libraries, production music libraries. So for artists, it's something we ought to pay attention to, because if your goal is to get your music in TV and film, an article like this or a stat like this, the majority, 70% of music that's being licensed in TV and film is coming from libraries, then, might want to start considering that as a strategy. However, and also too, like you got your start with licensing through libraries, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think people often online are like, "Oh, I want to get into the email thread of a supervisor." Which, if you get that, great. That's beauty. That's like, come on, bro. That's like a dream. But people set up the gate to where like that's the only means
Yeah.
to get in. And libraries I have seen are a lot more accepting and looking for your music than a single music supervisor or a single brand.
Yeah.
So I've just seen the success, and that was kind of the my gateway into all of it was a music library coming to me and paying me for my music, and then on the back end getting a royalty check every
Mm,
quarter. So yeah, music libraries, don't shy away from them. They're a great tool to use to get your music synced.
yeah. I don't do a lot of library work, or
Mhm.
historically, I haven't done a lot of library work. I've always gone first to sync agencies and then second direct to supervisor to pitch my music for TV and film.
Mhm.
And I went that route because I wanted to maximize my upfront revenue and
Mhm.
also see payouts, potentially quicker.
Yeah.
The thing about libraries to know is that, you are on it's a bit of a waiting game, because
It
one,
is.
PROs pay out quarterly, and also you got to wait until it's actually reported, which can take a couple months, before the supervisors of the show actually submit cue sheets. And also I think libraries kind of get a bad rap because, one, it can be more back end money, which takes longer and people don't like to wait. So that's one.
People
Two,
don't like to wait.
yeah. Two, there is at times a transfer of copyright. So you might have to give up ownership of your song for exchange of
Yeah.
revenue, ongoing revenue. So
Mhm.
that's a real consideration, when working with libraries.
Yeah.
But libraries, again, give you a 70% chance, higher chance of landing a placement than, the alternative. So it's kind of weighing your options. I think it's just good information. We actually have a production music catalog that we're building now for our company, and we have a partnership with one of the bigger players, APM. And I'm probably one of those artists that, again, I'm just like, hey, get the bag where you can, you know what I mean? And I think
Yeah. Yeah.
my philosophy as an artist is I have so much creation in me. I'll just make more music, you know what I mean? And flood the market,
100.
and it just makes me a better artist. I think a creative, with that much output, but also, you can leverage it for different ways when you do get a placement through a library, for other opportunities. But there are people who are making six figures through libraries, so
They are.
don't sleep on
And
them.
I can say I could say about 30% of my income, uh probably a little bit more, comes from playing the long game
Mm,
of working with music libraries. Once you get to you got 250 to 300 songs
yeah,
in different libraries just generating. That long game, that's passive income.
It compounds.
Legit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it definitely compounds.
It's a legit low key. At times a smarter play because when if you got a lot of music in libraries over time, it can compound, and it could again be mailbox money down the road when you decide to maybe stop creating
slow
music
down
in
a little bit.
yeah. And so the argument could be made, if you had that much music in agencies, would you be better off? I don't know. Like, I think
you should do both.
I do think you should do both. So anyway, just some food for thought. But I'm not one. There's certain people who just die on the hill of they're pro going direct, they're pro agency only, they're pro library only. I'm just like, find them one that fits for you. All of them make money.
Yeah.
All of them have different upsides and downsides. But just put your catalog to use. You know what I mean?
Put your catalog, get in that studio, make songs.
Yeah, let's go.
That's the real.
I wish more artists were. They thought more long game, and less I gotta get it now, quick.
Right.
Easier said than done, even for myself, because there's things where I want to see progress quickly. But I think if you have a system and you're counting your micro wins and it's giving signals that something is working, being able to use that as momentum to play the long game, knowing, because that's what library, and that's what I kind of did, is like I started with agencies, and I've done library work, but I started with agencies going direct, and then now moving over to libraries because I see benefit in all of it, and we got the right partnership as well to make it make sense. So
yeah.
Anyway,
it's a gem. It's overlooked often, but the numbers don't lie. 70%.
70%
is not something to overlook.
If you want to get your music, TV, and film, got a 70% higher chance going through libraries than direct, but all the options are out there. And if you did want to learn more about how to do that, we do have an amazing community called Neue.Indie, all for independent hip hop artists learning how to get their music, TV, and film and sustain through those channels. So hit us up. Links in the description for all that stuff.
Love it.
We made it to another episode, my guy.
We did. This was a good one.
It's a good one.
I like this one, bro.
For everybody who's made it this far, appreciate y'all. And let us know in the comments any topics you want us to cover. Yeah, man, we just appreciate y'all support. You know what I mean? And we look forward to continuing this journey. This is a long game for us because, podcasting is not for the faint of heart. And so we're getting our reps in, but, the more feedback y'all give us, the better we get. And we hope to keep giving y'all great content.
Yes, sir. It will compound, bro. I promise.
It will compound.
That's just how it works.
All right, y'all. Finna slide up out of here.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.
Let's get it.